video day, guys. Today's video, we're going to be doing my Makeup to Profit series. We're going to be talking about all the money that I saved in February by not buying certain makeup products. I'm going to show you guys my spreadsheet. We're going to talk about everything that I skipped out on and whether I regret it or if I'm still super happy I didn't buy it. And I'll also show you guys a little sneak peek of actually what I did spend for the month. And then, of course, at the end of the video, I will show you guys how much money I am going to be throwing into my savings account this month. So this is going to be the second time that I've done this video. I started it in January, and if you guys haven't seen that video already, you can go ahead and watch it up here. It'll kind of explain to you guys like the whole idea of this video, and this is going to be the February one. So let's go ahead and let's see how good I did in February right now. So before I go ahead and start this video, I just want to let you guys know, I think right now, more than ever, I want you guys to be really cautious of what you're purchasing, especially when it comes to makeup or, you know, these miscellaneous items that we already have in our collection that we're just kind of doing just because we want to buy it, but we really don't need it. Just because of how, like, I don't know, the markets look and how everything's looking right now, I just would urge anybody just to be a little bit more cautious, you know, especially with spending on stuff that you already own. Not going out and spending on things that you need or want, but things that you already own. I just feel like right now is a time to just be a little bit more selective, is a good word. Okay, so it's the end of the month, guys. Actually, we're probably already in March right now, but I have to wait until like February is completely over to kind of get like, you know, everything in line here. Now let's go ahead and let's go over all the items I skipped out on, and then at the end of the video I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my spreadsheet, and we're gonna see the actual total of how much I actually saved this month, which I'm shocked. I mean, like, guys, this is gonna be a lot. Like, I think by the end of the year I'm gonna be like, okay, so the first item that I skipped out on this month was the Jeffree Star mystery box. This was his Valentine's mystery box, and it was, the one I would have purchased would have been the $60 one. That's kind of like what I'm referencing here that I would have actually wanted to buy, because that's kind of usually the one I usually go for. I don't go for the smallest one. I usually go in the middle, and I will tell you, I think his mystery box was actually pretty good, because I was watching some of the unboxings and I was like, those are pretty good, but I'm happy that I didn't buy it because a lot of people were actually getting the blood sugar palette, or was it the conspiracy? I mean, I know some people got the conspiracy and some people got the blue blood, but for the majority I saw a lot of people getting like blood sugar, and I just finished getting that inside of my Beautylish lucky bag. So I was actually lucky that I didn't get the one that just came out for Jeffree Star. But I will tell you, Jeffree Star mystery boxes, they just really intrigue me because I feel like sometimes he puts some really good products in there. I end up just like really liking the products but not actually wearing the products, which that's kind of a problem, no? So I actually saved out on $60 for not purchasing that item, and I think that was the $60 well kept in my pocket for sure. And then the next one was when I did a Make Up Your Mind on, and that's the Kylie Jenner Kylie Cosmetics Stormy palette. Now when I saw this one released, I actually thought the colors were pretty. That's why I decided to do a Make Up Your Mind on this one, because I have told you guys, Kylie Cosmetics, I've never tried any of their eyeshadow palettes, like nothing. And I've wanted to, just to see like what the quality is all about, but this was one that actually intrigued me. I was like, well, maybe you'll be the first. And after I did my Make Up Your Mind, I kind of realized that, I don't know, it's a really pretty arranged palette, but when I saw all the colors like swatched and kind of like get an idea of what the color story was, I realized I really didn't need that palette. I kind of had it, and some of the colors that I found were so similar. I gotta use the colors in my collection that I'm happy that I saved out on not paying the $28 for the Kylie one, because I just really honestly didn't need it. So now the next palette is from Too Faced. So this is the Natural Nudes palette. This is another palette that actually really intrigued me, and I was thinking of purchasing it as well. But after doing Make Up Your Mind, this is another one that really, I looked at the color story, and even though the colors are not 100% exact to what I found in my collection, I kind of saw like this very nude, this very subtle nude color story that's very, very pretty. But I just finished buying the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam. What's it called? Soft Glam? Is it Soft Glam? Yeah. Soft Glam. I just finished buying the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam this year. You guys know that if you would have seen my January purchases. And I really like that palette. And after kind of comparing it to the Too Faced one, I started to notice that, yeah, Too Faced, It's a really cool palette for anybody who doesn't really have neutrals in their collection. But if you have like that neutral palette that you're like die hard for, especially if you have the soft glam, I feel like you have a lot of these tones. So I ended up just realizing that I didn't really need it, and the Too Faced one was gonna be $45. So I'm actually happy I didn't buy that one, because I do feel like if I would have purchased that one, I mean, the soft glam was just gonna get put aside for a while, and I was gonna start using the Too Faced one. And at the end of the day, if I looked at them both together, they're probably the same palette, like with a few little tweaks, but it's like the same idea, you know. And I don't need two of those, so I'm happy I skipped out on that one. The next one was the Too Faced highlighter. This looks so pretty to me. I loved the idea of this highlighter. It really was cute, and I don't know, it intrigued me. Now, I think one of the things that kind of like got me like, was it's $42 for this. I mean, that's what I saw online, and I was like, $42? That's pricey. And for a highlighter, guys, I mean, like, this shirt cost me like, what, 10 bucks? How much did I pay for this shirt? The shirt I'm wearing right now cost me like $12.99 from Forever 21, and it like takes up most of my body. Do you know what I mean? And the highlighter was just like, it's a $42 highlighter, and I have so many other highlighters that are so good. I even have highlighters from Natasha Denona. I have highlighters from Hourglass, and I mean, I have a nice little collection going. I didn't need this. I was gonna buy this because I thought it was intriguing, and I also thought that people would love to see it, and I was just gonna waste money. That's the plain truth, is I was gonna waste money. And if you guys have really nice highlighters, or a highlighter that you love in your collection, do you really need 10 of them? I mean, really, reality, do we need 10 highlighters? We do not. 2 cheekbones, 1 highlighter will last us over a year. So I'm so happy I skipped out on this for $42. That one would have been something I probably would have just bought in for review purposes, would have sat in that drawer, and I would have continuously used the same highlighter that I use every single day. All right, so now this one was one that I also wanted to purchase, called from Milk Cosmetics. It's the Millennial Pinks. Now, the reason I wanted to get this one was because I like the idea of grays and pinks together. I just thought it looked cute, and I liked the color story that they had going. And after I did Make Up Your Mind, I started to realize that I mean, all I have to do is just add a few grays into some of the other palettes that I currently have. And it was, at the end of the day, it was a cool color story, but I don't know, it was another one that I just couldn't pull the trigger on after seeing how many of these colors I had super similar. I will tell you guys, recently I have created a few looks adding grays and pinks together, and I've been like, okay, well, yeah, I got the inspiration from that palette, but I already had so many eyeshadow palettes in my collection. I really just didn't need to purchase it. And this one, guys, I mean, come on, this is $58. $58. That is so expensive. I know Milk Cosmetics has very, very good quality, and I'm all about quality, and you guys know that I will buy very expensive eyeshadow palettes, like, but $58 for this one, I couldn't get myself to do it. So I'm actually happy that I skipped out on that one. Now, the next one I owe to you guys. Honestly, I owe this one to you guys. I was gun-ho set to purchase this from Pat McGrath. This is the Pat McGrath concealer that she just came out with, $32 US. I was down. I was gonna get it because I hadn't really purchased that much this month. I had like a nice little budget left, and I was like, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna buy this, and I'll just, you know, do a review on it and see. And after I asked you guys, so many of you guys, like literally, I was split down the middle 50-50. People didn't want me to buy this, and I was like, why? Why don't you guys want me to get it? And you guys literally said no, like you had no interest in it. And I really feel like you guys are starting to kind of just get like, kind of like I am, repetitiveness of products, and just being like, okay, another concealer, I just bought this one, now there's another one, now there's another one, now there's, and I feel like you guys are starting to feel that way too. So I'm actually happy that you guys had that reaction to it, because a lot of times, anytime like one of these brands like Pat McGrath or Natasha Denona comes out with something, people are like, yes, I need it, I want it, oh my god, you know, and everybody just goes so crazy over it. And I was just actually pretty happy to see the response was down the middle 50-50, that I said, okay, fine, I'll go with you guys. I'm not buying it. Even though I thought it was a cool product that I could review for you guys, no, Why even put the temptation out there? If half of you guys are telling me not to do it, then I know that you guys don't even want that temptation. So no, I decided not to purchase it, and that is literally because of you guys. And then Pat McGrath also came out with a powder, and it was like a correcting powder. Now, this one just interested me because I do have dark circles, and I was kind of like, correcting powder. Do I want this? It was like $30, which is still is pretty pricey. And since I decided not to get the concealer, I just said, you know what, forget it. And in reality, I just got the Hourglass Ambient Ghost palette. It has so many powders in it, and I also have my Charlotte Tilbury powder, which I love. And recently, I haven't even been using that many powders under my eyes, so I was like, you know what, forget it. If I'm not gonna get the concealer, I'm not gonna get the powder. If anything, the concealer I would have used more than the powder, so I didn't end up buying that one either. So that literally saved me together a $62 purchase, which is great. So now we're gonna get into the one that I just finished airing a Make Up Your Mind on, and that is the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 Morphe palette. And this was one that when I heard Jaclyn Hill was gonna do a collaboration with Morphe again, I kind of got excited. I mean, I may be one of those suckers that anytime Jaclyn Hill comes out with something, I'm like, ooh, I wanna know more, you know? And I do know that there's so much drama around all of her launches, and it is starting to get a little annoying. And I have to agree with you guys. You guys are constantly telling me that. And I agree. I mean, your excitement starts to go down when there's always so much drama. And I feel bad for her in a certain way because it's like, why? You know, I feel bad for anybody who this type of stuff happens to, whether they cause it or not. I feel bad, you know? So it kind of sucks, but originally I was kind of intrigued. And then when I saw the color story, I was starting to like get on the hype of everybody else of, ooh, but I need it. Ooh, but I need it. You know, and then I started seeing everybody saying, ooh, who wants this? Who wants it? And I did start getting a little excited for it. And then I had to really push myself back from launch date and say, I'm not buying this. I'm not going to be like the person that's online. I'm going to get it that 1 minute that it comes out. Oh my God. You know, so I really pushed myself back. It was a $39 eyeshadow palette. So in my opinion, that's not that much money for the amount of eyeshadows you get. So I stepped back. And I'm happy. I'm so happy I did, because there's a few things that I needed to know. One was that there's a lot of pigments in this eyeshadow palette. I forgot how many there were, but I started counting, and it's very close to how many like the Bloodlust has from Jeffree Star has a lot of pigments too. And when I started counting, I was like, I can't use pigments. My eyes get itchy and dry, and it's terrible. And I did ask an eye doctor, what does that mean? And she told me, you're allergic, stop using pigments. And I was like, no, you know, but at the same time, I kind of figured that that was happening. Because, I mean, why else would my eyes get itchy and irritated the day after I always use pigments, you know? So I'm trying to stay away from pigments, and I'm actually getting so annoyed that so many brands are including pigments inside of all of their eyeshadow palettes. I'm like, in order for them to get that real saturated, real colorful look, they sometimes use pigments instead of normal eyeshadows. I personally, I'd rather just use the normal eyeshadows. Pigment stains, sometimes you can get irritations from pigments. I'd rather them just be normal eyeshadows. Yeah, it's not gonna like bounce off the screen when you do a super colorful eye look, but I mean, my opinion, I don't really care. But anyways, so at the end of the day, when I saw that there was so many pigments in there, I kind of got like, so I was kind of excited that after doing Make Up Your Mind, I was able to find some substitutes that weren't pigments, even though some of the ones that I did find in my collection actually were pigments as well, because I need to, there's a video coming on that. I'm going to go through my entire collection and I'm going to find all these pigments and we are going to blacklist them. But that's coming. That's coming. I've been doing it. It's coming. So overall, I think I'm kind of happy I skipped out on the Jaclyn Hill one. I've heard stuff about her formula being not the same as the one that she used to have. I have no idea if that's true or not. And I will say Morphe's formula has certain palettes from Morphe irritate my eyes, and their most recent palette that I purchased from them, which I told you guys about, the Bronze Seduction one, I already decluttered it because I can't use it. It gets my eyes super dry and itchy. So I don't know. I'm happy I skipped out on the Jaclyn Hill one. If you guys got this, let me know below if it's any good. I really actually want to know, because I want to know from you guys what you guys think. Okay, so let's move on. Beauty Blender Concealer. Okay, so this is one that I literally have hardly heard anything about. I mean, have you guys heard about the Beauty Blender Concealer? Because I just haven't heard about it. Like, I know it released, but I haven't heard anybody really reviewing it. And maybe I'm just not like watching reviews as much anymore because I just don't want that temptation, or maybe it's just that people aren't reviewing this. But it was a $26 concealer that actually caught my attention. I thought of getting it, but after not getting the Pat McGrath one, I kind of just stopped myself again and just really thought of it. And I'm going to be showing you guys in my next inventory of my collection, my concealers and foundations, and you'll see how many concealers I have to go through. And that's really the reason that I really stopped myself until I can get my concealers down to a reasonable number. I don't think I'm going to jump on a concealer unless it is like everything that I want in a concealer. And when I read this one, it was not everything. I love luminous concealers because I have older under eyes and I do not want them to look dry, crepey, and I want my wrinkles to look like they never existed. And usually luminous concealers do that for me. So that's why I don't know. I'm happy I didn't buy this one. So okay, so here's another one, the Jeffree Star Bloodlust. So I did just kind of like point to this one when I was talking about my Make Up Your Mind for Jaclyn Hill. The other one was the Jeffree Star Bloodlust that I also did. Now, this one, I loved that I could hardly find these colors. These colors were so hard. And there was even colors that I know I didn't find. Like, they were just not exactly the same at all. And I attempted, and I actually almost even said, should I even put this up? Because some of these colors just aren't right. And I was like, yeah, because that is the beauty of looking through your collection. You don't know what you're gonna find, and you may not find these colors, and I could not find a lot of them. So it actually got me like, I should buy this palette, and I was really considering it until I found out how many pigments there were. And I feel like, I don't remember if it was 10 pigments, but it was something around that amount that I was like, that's almost half or more than half the palette. And it's $54, and all of the pigments in there I wasn't going to be able to use. So that's literally what made me say no. If that would have been an eyeshadow palette with no pigments in it, I probably would have purchased it for sure. Now, I will agree with some of you guys who have commented this, that Jeffree Star's packaging is just too bulky. I agree with you guys. I mean, Blood Sugar is literally lying on top of my makeup cabinet because I don't want to put it away inside of my cabinet because it just wastes so much space. So I agree with you guys. It is a little bit on the bulky side, so okay, so the last one we're going to talk about for the month of February, which was just like the last one that I saw released before like the new month started. This was from Colourpop, and this is the Sailor Moon collection. And I know a lot of you guys were super excited about this. And I told you guys in virtual window shopping just recently, I love Sailor Moon. I watched Sailor Moon growing up, and I used to love Tuxedo Mask, like the whole thing. I loved Sailor Moon. Super, super cute. I loved it. And yeah, when I first saw this release, it did intrigue me because I was like, oh my god, it's Sailor Moon, how cute. But you know, the whole how cute thing starts to fade away when you have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and then you look at the color story of an eyeshadow palette and you say, I'm never gonna wear that. The Sailor Moon eyeshadow palette I would never wear. I feel like they should have gone in a different direction, not like completely different, but just maybe a little bit more trending. I would have loved if it would have been more pastel with a little bit of neutrals in there, just to have like a cool eyeshadow palette that would have been super useful. Then I would have wanted it because I love Sailor Moon, but I almost feel like they knew that people were gonna buy this just because it was Sailor Moon, so it wasn't even like, oh, like let's just make the colors fun because they're gonna buy it anyways, you know? Now, the blushes got me that I was almost going to buy the blushes, and I've told you guys already that I'm still considering the blushes because I like Colourpop's blush formula, and I really like the Sailor Moon look. I mean, I am still a sucker. I mean, I'm still looking at it because it has Sailor Moon on it, but they're sold out. So because of that, I skipped out on the collection, so yay. So what I ended up saying was $24. So now it's time, guys, for you guys to see my spreadsheet. Here we go. So rounding out February, the total that I saved was $438. So I literally saved $438 this month from not purchasing all of these items just for review purposes or just because I really wanted them. So I'm happy. I saved a lot of money, and that means for this month we're going to be throwing $66 into our savings account, which I am super excited to be doing. Last month was a big month. I threw like 80 bucks into my savings account, and this month we're going to be throwing $66. So that's actually really cool. So yeah, I want to know from you guys, if you guys are doing this along with me, how much have you been throwing into your savings account? And let's quickly just go over the purchases that I did do this month, because at the end of this month, you guys will be seeing my end of the month review roundup, where I'll tell you guys everything I thought of these products that I purchased this month. You guys know my monthly budget's between $100 and $150, and I am so happy to say for the month of February, I spent $59 US on makeup. That is I need to hear some clapping. I mean, that was good. So I only purchased 2 items. I purchased the VISEART Paris Edit for $39, and I also purchased the Wayne Goss 27S for 20 bucks, which is an actual an eyeshadow brush. And yeah, guys, I think I did really good this month. I'm very proud of myself. May have had to do a little bit with the fact that I went on vacation and maybe I wasn't paying attention to everything coming out, but I did very good this month. So I'm proud of myself. So if you guys are interested in knowing what I thought of those 2 items that I purchased, at the end of this month, you guys will be seeing my final thoughts on those products. But yeah, guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you guys haven't done so already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button somewhere down here so you guys can be part of the family, and hit the notification bell so that you guys know exactly when my uploads happen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.